Hey, it's Kim. Welcome back to my channel. Today is the day that we've all been waiting for. No, not all of us, just me. But today is the day where I'm going to be talking about my 2022 planner lineup. And I'm actually quite excited because this is probably the first time in a long time that I have everything ready well before the start of a new year. So today's video, I'm going to walk you through all the things that I have here. All of my planners, all of my journals, a few notebooks that I use because I did mention, especially in a previous video, that I write a lot. I write things down all the time. So I'm going to go through the notebooks I use. I have a couple of honorable mentions that I'll pull out at the end. And I'm going to kind of explain how I use everything and walk through all of the systems that I have in place, or at least all of the pieces for the system, the planning systems that I use. If that sounds like something you're into, let's get started. Okay, so let's start off with my main planner. This is a standard size traveler's notebook. This cover is in the Janet Leather Black from Vanderspec. I actually mentioned this in my fourth quarter planner recap. Planner routine, something like that. I have a video. It's all in the planner playlist on my channel as well, which I'll link up in the cards and down below. But this is the cover that I mentioned that I was waiting on. However, in that video, I did explain how I use this standard traveler's notebook system and how it works for me. And I explained the different inserts that I have going on in here. So I won't go through all of that in this video. I also am not going to go through all of the decor and everything in today's video. I'm going to reserve that for a separate video because if not, this video will be ridiculously long. So I think I'm going to go through specifics about how these are all set up in separate videos, not for every single planner, but maybe the ones that people are most interested in, or the ones that play the largest part in my planning routines. So in this traveler's notebook, standard size traveler's notebook, it's the Janet Leather Black on the outside, and I requested a lot of texture, and that's exactly what I got, and I absolutely love it. And on the inside, I got the Janet Leather Velvet Sand, which is more of a nubuck kind of leather. And that's what that looks like. I'll show you the back as well. So I've been loving it. I don't baby it at all in any kind of way, but I haven't noticed anything, any staining or anything that has happened to it thus far. So in this, I do have my monthly and weekly planning, which is done in one of these books, and then my daily planning, which is done in a separate book. And then I have my journal, which is its own book. And then I also do have a reference notebook back here that I actually haven't started. So I'm probably going to remove this, as well as a few of the other dashboards and things that I have going on in here. But when I recap, or when I give you a full overview in that video explaining exactly how I use this, I'll go into further detail. But this is my main planner, my everyday planner, and this is the standard size traveler's notebook in a Vanderspec cover. Next up, this is my Giglio, what's the name of this? Oh, Giglio Personal Wide Campagna. I didn't know the name because I'm not super into rings, or at least I haven't been in the past. So this year I decided to give rings a shot, and I pretty much went all in. So 3 of the components that I have that I'm going to go over are all rings. So this size is the personal wide size. And this is very similar to the B6 size bound notebooks that I was using back in 2021. The Wonderland 222 specifically. So that's primarily why I chose to start out with the personal wide size. I knew that I liked the height of the inserts and the width of the inserts. There are also B6 size ring planners on the market, but I decided to go with personal wide because I feel like inserts for personal wide seem to be more widely available. So I just stuck with the personal wide size, and so far so good. I really am loving it. Again, I'm not going to go through all of the specifics about what's in here, but I will say I call this my companion planner. So this has everything in it that this one doesn't. So while this one has my dailies and weeklies and monthlies, this one houses things that I use for projects, things that I use for finances, home management, those types of things. So it is pretty hefty, and I'm waiting on a few inserts. I just need to print them myself. A lot of what I have going on in my system this year is DIY, and also just using what I have on hand. So there are a few other things I need to do. I need to add tabs. I need to print out a few more inserts, but I have actually started using it for a few things like meal planning so far, you know, those types of things for the home, taking some notes on different projects. So I have begun to use it. So I do know that I do like it and that it fits and works well in my system. But obviously I need to add dividers and tabs so I know where everything is, because right now I'm looking for all of my meal planning stuff and I can't even find it. But that's what this planner is for. And again, this is the Giglio Personal White Campagna, and this color is the burgundy color, which I feel like doesn't get a ton of love. It's really nice. It's very nice. I have it on 30mm rings. The color reads completely differently, I think, in cameras and on video, but it's a really rich burgundy. I don't know how else to explain it. Not too red, not too purple. It's really pretty, right in the middle. Perfect for fall if you're into that kind of thing. But I do love the moody vibes that it gives. And this is from Lucy Plans Life, if you're wondering. But this is the vibe I'm going for in here. So I'm still waiting on finishing up some dividers, and I will walk you through everything that I have in all the sections in a video coming very soon. Keeping with the theme of rings, the next one I decided to try is an A6 rings. So I really do like the A5 size. I do know that I like the A6 size because I have a journal in that size, and I figured this might be good for my work planner. Previously, I have been using a half letter setup for my work planner, but now that I am officially 100% working from home, I don't really need to have that much writing space. And, you know, if I'm just being honest, I just wanted to try something new. That's it. That's all. I just wanted to try something new. So this is the Giglio A6 Campagna. It does have 30mm rings. I probably could have gone with 25, but that's fine. It does have the 30mm rings. And if anyone is interested, this did come on a 25mm backplate. I feel like unless you're like super into rings, you don't really know even what that means. But I'll compare it to both of these are 30mm rings, but you can see, I don't know if you can tell, hopefully you can tell, that this backplate is a lot wider than this one. So the backplate for this is about here. Backplate for this is here. They're both on 30mm rings though. So I completely understand when ring lovers talk about them wanting the 25mm backplate, but with the 30mm rings, because it does add a lot of chunk to a planner. I quite like it, but I can understand if I had a smaller planner and maybe if I carried it a lot or, you know, took it around with me in my bag or something like that, that this chunkiness might be a problem. But this one is 30mm rings on a 25mm backplate. It doesn't feel really thick and really bulky. So that's a good thing. But this one is used for work and it's pretty basic, pretty simple. I have started using it so far, even though I've called it my 2022 setup. But I do have it actually all set up for 2022. I'm not going to show you everything that's in here. And keeping with the DIY theme, I made these dividers myself using the Affogato dividers from Cloth and Paper. I had a set for half letter disc bound that I wasn't using because I really wasn't happy with the color. I felt like they kind of leaned a little more yellow, but I feel like they work a lot better with this green leather cover. And by the way, this is the green leather Apoca from Giglio. So I cut them down, punched some holes in it, cut the tabs a little bit because I felt like they stuck out a bit too far. And I have it set up with some calendars. I still need to add a few more work-related calendars in here, like payday schedules, holiday schedules, and all that. And then I do have these weeklies that I'm using. I'll put it on the screen. I want to say these weeklies, I'm not exactly sure where they're from, but it's a work week on one page. So it's only Monday through Friday. I'll show you one that I didn't put anything on. Okay, so it's only Monday through Friday, which is extremely convenient, of course, if you're just using this for work and if you only work Monday through Friday. And then on the right side, I just have some lined paper, and this is from Peanuts Planner Co. I do know that. So I printed all of that out. Everything in here is on 28-pound paper, which I really am loving. Last year, I did a lot of 32-pound paper, which I found... it was okay. I think just the paper itself that I was using, the brand, I didn't quite like it when you went to cut it. I feel like it didn't give a smooth edge. It seemed a little textured. Just wasn't a fan. This paper is really smooth and it holds up to fountain pen ink very well. I can link the paper down below if anybody's interested, if you're into that kind of thing. So I have enough weeklies for the entire year. These are actually weeklies that I cut down from cloth and paper that I had on hand. And I just chopped off Saturday and Sunday. It was their horizontal weekly that I got in a sub box. It was size 4 half letter. And since I wasn't using them, I just cut down the Saturday and Sunday. And then on the right side, it already had this grid paper. So I did cut a few of those down. I think there were like 15 in the pack or something like that. So that's what I put into here just in case I run out. But I do have enough of these for the entire year. And then back here I do have some notes pages, some dot grid, some, oh no, they're all dot grid. And then there's one other section I do want to include in here, which is like a reference section. And I just had this idea today because we have certain resources that we might direct people that we work with to. So I kind of want to have that all in here instead of having to search for it in my emails or anything of the sort. I feel like it would be a lot easier to have a reference section here. So that's what I'm going to do there. Also, I cut these cards out of the Affogato dividers, and my plan was to put some routines on here or task cards detailing certain things that I do, like for invoicing or other routines. I really just chopped them up just in case I was going to use them that way. And I have a few in here as well, which I could do for like monthly, weekly, and daily routines if I wanted to put that on there. So that is the Giglio Campagna in a polka green in A6. And it's really nice, really pretty, very soft, smooth leather. And I'm liking it. The next one, the last rings edition that I added to my collection, is the Giglio Pocket Miyakara. And this one is in the polka dark brown. But this is the Pocket Miyakara. So it's a pocket size. And the Miyakara means it comes with like 2 pieces. So this is the inside with the rings. And then it has the outer, this outer portion that I could, use in some kind of way. This actually will fit an A6 notebook if you slid it into here, but you probably have to cut down the back cover of the notebook if you wanted to, if you're interested. I've also seen people insert a larger ring binder into here and just use the outside cover so that they can have larger rings than the ones that come with the Pocket Miyakara. But my theory for this and my thinking for this is if I wanted to plan on the go or use this as more of a reference planner to see like what's going on throughout the year, that this would be really great to do it. And honestly, I just wanted the dark brown. I just wanted the leather, but that's how I could use it. I don't know if I will. I'm going to give it a shot, see if it works for me. If not, then I will pass it on to a better home, where it can be more well loved. I did do a test run with inserts, and I do need to reprint all of these inserts. They're on the paper that I don't love. And also, I would trim a bit of the inside to the left of the rings because the paper kind of comes out and they meet up with each other on each side of the rings, and it makes it a little difficult to turn. So I feel like it needs a little more space in between there. Not sure if that makes any sense. But currently, also, I misprinted a few of these and I cut them crooked. So they need to be done over. But what I do have in here, I can tell you, is a 2022 overview. And then I have like this Hobonichi type yearly, which is like a perpetual calendar. I believe this is from Paper Test Designs. Don't quote me on it. I'll put it down below. But that's what that's for, and I really do love this kind of layout. So I can see like an overview of all of what's going on in September, October, so forth and so on. For instance, if I need to schedule doctor's appointments or things like that when I'm out and about. I do sometimes have this information on my calendar on my phone, but admittedly, I don't know, that doesn't always work. I'm a paper and pen kind of person. So also in here I have like a monthly overview. Just a month on one page to kind of see, where the days are. And then I have this overview section over to the left with 1 to 31. If I needed to write down something specific to the day, I have a section for monthly priorities and some sections for notes. So I thought that would be good to have as well. And in here, I also have some weekly pages or weekly inserts. So I'm honestly not sure if I would use these on the go, but I have them in here just in case, and I actually have enough paper to simulate having the entire year in here. I just wanted to see if it would all fit, and it would all fit. I don't know if I'll use this type of insert though, but it has a Monday through Sunday with a little box. I'll put who makes these as well. I think it's Paper Test Designs. A small calendar. And then like a checklist or a list for what's going on. I could use this for pre-planning the week if I chose. I'm not sure. So we'll see how it works. And we'll see how it goes. And then I have some extra notes pages. But as you can see, I'm kind of struggling flipping the pages because there's a bit too much paper on the ends of these inserts. So when I do reprint them, I'll punch them down. I'll punch them and then trim them down on the side so that it doesn't have too much overhang. And it has these pockets in here. This is a little card from the planner spot. Oh, and I also do have this little passport notebook that I got from Cloth and Paper that I do use to actually jot down notes here and there. And I slid that into here. That was in a sub box. And this is passport size. So obviously my passport could fit in here if I needed it to. I also thought about that. Thought about using this as a travel wallet if I ever needed to. So that is the Giglio Pocket Miyakara in Epoca Dark Brown. And as with all the others, it's absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so those are all of the planners. Those were 4 planners. The main, the companion, the work planner, and the pocket planner. So next up, oh, there's one more. Next up is this one. So the cover is a Louis Vuitton Brazza wallet. And inside I have a Hobonichi Weeks. And this is a Weeks Mega. So it has the added extra pages in the back, which I do find convenient. So I have a love affair with the Hobonichi Weeks. And the thing is, I'm not entirely sure if it loves me back. Like, I really do love it for note taking. I like it for pre-planning. That's what I was using it for last year. But the size of the weeklies doesn't fully work for me. I feel like I need a bit more size, maybe. But anyway, towards the end of 2021, I have actually been using my current weeks as a business planner. So not for work, but for my own personal business, our family business. I even put like YouTube stuff in here. So that's what I have been using it for. So I figured I'd pick one up for 2022. And also I was in the market for a mid-size wallet. So currently I carry a very small pocket. It's called the Pocket Organizer. It's also from Louis Vuitton. So it's a very small wallet, fits some cards, some folded up cash. That's it. And then I also have a larger wallet, which is like the size of a clutch. It's way too big. I don't think I've carried that wallet in maybe 3 to 4 years, but I do still have it. But I wanted something that was a little more mid-sized And the Brazil wallet is actually very perfect. It's not very big. It fits in all of my crossbody bags, which is saying a lot because I do have a few like small ones that I carry. So it fits in all of those. It'll fit some cards. It has a ridiculous amount of pockets or like slots for cash. Over here it has 1, 2, 3 slots, as well as a zipper pouch for coins. So it fits a whole lot in a really slim package. Bonus on top of that, it fits the Hobonichi Weeks. Oh, I did have to cut off the back and cut along the edges. So if you know anything about a Hobonichi Weeks, you know that these kinds of covers, the harder ones, do have some overhang around the paper. So I just pretty much cut it to make it flush with the paper. So yeah, I cut it to make it flush with the paper, trimmed it all around, and then on the back, cut it down a bit as well so that it slides into here easier. And it's just not difficult. I've seen where people use this and they keep like an elastic band around it, but I haven't found that need. It seems to have trained to close just fine. So I'm happy with the way this fits in here. So that is the 4th planner. No. That's the 5th planner, technically. Okay, so that's where we are. 5 planners. Now let's go into the journals. Okay, so this is the Moterm A5 cover in red brown croc. I believe that's the color of it. When I saw it, I fell in love with it and I needed to have it. Did I actually need it as a cover? No. But I just really, really, really wanted it. And what this houses is my Bible study journal / kind of prayer journal. And I have that in a Hobonichi Day Free for 2022. And I use the perpetual calendar for scripture reading plans. I use the monthly calendar for a similar layout or Bible study plans. And then I use the notes pages. And this particular one comes with 171 notes pages. So I didn't need one for each day. 171 is fine. So that's what this is for. I set this up as the November calendar. I started using it in November. And I just use these stickers from Happy Planner, because this was or is supposed to be the March 2023 calendar. So I know that I won't be in this for that long. So I just use that to put the November calendar because I want it to get started in here as soon as possible. So that's what that is. And then on this side is the Hobonichi notebook. It's just an A5 notebook. And it has the gridded Hobonichi paper, just in case I need it for something not necessarily related to this, but they're just both being housed in the same cover. So that's one journal. And then the next one is also in a Moterm cover. This is the taupe color. And this houses my reading journal. So, this is a Moleskine Cahier that I use for notes as well. See, I write down things in a lot of different places. But these are notes related to books that I'm reading. So this is my reading journal. This is something that I started at the beginning of 2021. I made an effort, I wanted to make an effort to read a lot more books. And I thought putting something like this together would encourage me to do that and also to record my thoughts on the different books. And it actually is working. I just need to keep up with it, but it actually is working. And I really do love it. In here is an A5 Stylogy, and I can probably get about 3, maybe 4 years worth of reading journal type stuff. So my goal for this year was 24 books for the year. I think I'm at 26 or 27 so far, so I'm doing very good. But my thought process is that I want to record some thoughts or just things that I learned from the books. I wanted to document, what I thought about the book, because that is something that drives me bananas. Like, I will forget if I read a book, which I find is a little bit weird. But then, like, if I try and read the first 3 to 4 sentences, I'm like, oh, I read this. Of course I read this. I don't know. So I feel like this will help me to remember the books and kind of help me to see exactly what I like, what I don't like, what authors I really like, what authors I don't really like, that type of thing. But just a fun journey to see how well I'm doing. And I do have it set up. I will go through this once everything is finished, but I have it set up to do some reading challenges. I have it set up to track certain things throughout the year, like how many days I've actually read. Oh, this is my list. I do keep up with this. And after every time I read a book, I'll actually put the little summary or synopsis into this. So that's how I know, to record my notes. And then when I'm ready to put it into the reading journal, that's where I'll put it with the pictures and all that stuff. So this is my list for the year. And I also have sections in here for page counts and reading trackers. As you can see, I'm on April, but I do track my reading in my regular journal anyway, or my regular planner. So I do know what days I read and what days I didn't. So it would be easy for me to backfill all of this. So I'm really excited to fill it out and then to set up for 2022. I'll be doing that within the next week or two, and I will be sure to share a video on my reading journal. So those are 2 journals. And then another one we have is the 5-year Hobonichi journal. So this is the one that is the A6 size, which I think I mentioned, and I was saying I do like the size. This I'm using as a family journal. So every day I'll write down a little bit of a blurb about what we have going on, what's happening. Sometimes I'll print out photos just from my cell phone. I'll arrange them on like a Word document, print it out on some cheap sticker paper, like an 8.5 by 11 sheet of sticker paper, cut out all the boxes, stick them on here, write some notes. It's pretty simple, pretty easy. I have notes to myself about other pictures that I want to make sure that I print out and include in here. So every few weeks I'll do that. I'll sit down and get all the pictures off my phone and just print them out and stick them on the pages where they belong. But I think it's a really cool idea, something that I wanted to start because I thought my kids would like it, and they do. They like flipping through it. They haven't flipped through it in a while. I should probably update it and then, get all the pictures in it. But it's really cool because you can add like a short little blurb for each day over a 5-year period. So this day is my daughter's birthday. So on 2021, I wrote a blurb about that, have some pictures related to that, and then it'll be cool to see what happens in 2022, 23, 24, 25 on this day, maybe, something that we did, a picture of her, that type of thing. So that's how I've been using this Hobonichi A6 5-year journal. And I will show you, I did mention that an A6 could fit into this pocket Miyakara. So technically, it could fit. The thing is, though, like I said, in order to get this back cover into here, you'd have to cut it down some, which I am not willing to do. So I'm still on the hunt for a cover for this, maybe. I do just keep it in the box so it doesn't get messed up until I decide on a cover for it. So that is the Hobonichi 5-year journal in A6 that I'm using as our family journal. All right, now let's move on to the honorable mentions. The honorable mentions that I have. So this one is a notebook that I got from like Marshall's or TJ Maxx. Back in 2017, the years are there. So I got it in 2017, and I use this as my brainstorming type of journal. I write down a whole lot of everything. And this is what I write down for ideas, projects that I'm kind of planning out, anything I need to plot out in that way. All of that goes into here. I have a few pages left, so I'll probably finish this in 2022, and then I will move on to another notebook. But what this has shown me is that I do really like the spiral format for this kind of book for me, for my brainstorming book. I don't want it to be in a bound book. I don't know why, I just don't. So I'm going to keep with the spiral format. Also, I really do like this size. This is a 9x7 around there, which I've heard called like an executive size. It's also close to B5 size. So I want to stick with this size as well when I go on to my next one. So that's my brainstorming notebook. And then this one I call my learning notebook. This is an A5 Midori notebook. It just has like the yellowish color paper with graph. So whenever I am doing maybe like a course, online course or podcast or something of the sort, I will write down notes regarding that in here. So that's what I call my learning notebook. I just started this not too long ago from a previous one. I'm not sure that I like it in this book. No, it'll probably stay. So that's my learning notebook. So those are those two. And then this one, last but totally not least. This is my Spleef Custom that I had made to house my half letter planner. So this used to be my companion planner. Used to be. For 2021 is my companion planner. So I'm switching that now to the personal wide size. So pretty much everything that was in here that I covered in here, finances, projects, all that stuff, will move to the personal wide. But in here, I will still keep notes. I will still keep other things that I need to hash out. I thought about moving my learning notebook to here, but I'm not so sure about that. I don't know. But this will still stay in the rotation somehow. I just don't exactly know how. I also wanted bigger rings. I wanted a lot bigger rings, and I wanted them to be silver. I feel like I talked about that and complained about that before, because originally this was on silver rings, but the 1.25 size. So I wanted to switch it to the 1.75. These are the Happy Planner expander rings, just to see how well it fits in here, because this thing is huge. It actually is very big. Probably slightly too big, but I wanted to see how these rings fit in there, especially if this was full. So it would be a really good fit if these rings were completely full to close this. But I have been using or keeping my 2021 Hobonichi cousin in here. So that's why this was on here. So I abandoned this throughout the year. Needless to say, I'm not going to be using a cousin for 2022. I am still going to use this paper, of course, for something. Not sure what yet. But these both just live in here together. So, that's it. So we got all of my notebooks. We got my journals. We have planners galore. And my main planner. Oh, don't forget the family journal. So we got all of this going on for 2022. Sounds like a lot. But what I've noticed about myself, I like to have everything compartmentalized. I like to know where everything goes. So if I have some business thoughts and ideas that I need to get down, it goes in here. If I have some work things, which I don't normally outside of Monday to Friday, it goes in here. If I have, I just need to have it all in different compartments, because like I said, I write things down constantly. So this helps me know where to find something if I need to go back and refer to it later. Originally, or I would say maybe a few years ago, I felt like this was way too much. I was just doing too much, and I tried to combine everything into one planner. I did sort of like a Franken planner type thing with a Happy Planner. That didn't work for my brain. It was too much in one space. So while I'm trying to do my daily planning, I don't need to have business stuff staring at my face at the same time, or I don't need to have all those other things. So I realized that just didn't work for me. It wasn't what I preferred. I like to have everything in their own individual places. Not to mention, I'm a planner person at heart, and I just really like to try out and use different types of planners. And this affords me the opportunity to do exactly that. So there you have it, my 2022 planner lineup. I know it was a lot, but I'm a lot, and I'm okay with that. So if you have any questions about anything I showed in today's video, please feel free to ask down below. I'll also include any links or anything that I can down in the description box for you as well. And to also reiterate, I'll be going over a more in-depth flip of my daily planner as well as my companion planner. And I can do more in-depth flips of anything else if you guys are interested in. Oh, maybe if the pocket planner lasts and it, you know, sticks around and I actually set it up and find a use for it in my life, I could do a more thorough flip of that as well. Of course, that won't happen for a few months until I find out, you know, how much I'm loving it. So we'll see. But thank you so much for watching today's video. I really do appreciate all the love and support, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe if you already haven't. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.